So very quick one, we're going to review the inner section, the footer, the header too, but we are not going to get more in depth to the mobile menu for the header. I'm talking about responsiveness of the header. Okay, we are going to deal with this one, letter making the hamburger represent that. So we don't need this extra size in here, it's not necessary. Okay, so you clamp that in. When you make that necessary, if you want to make this larger, you should also give a padding inside of this. Like when you click out now, it's now equal to the same height. The same space we have beneath here is still the same space we have outside there. But in the best practice, whenever you give a padding to an element, don't give a margin to it, give a padding to it too, okay, to justify that, so you know you are controlling everything from just one same place. The padding 9, this should be 9 padding, this should be, and the margin, we don't want any margin at the top, so close out that margin. So that will solve the problem and make everything equal to that part. The button icons here, they are too large. Okay, so see the size we have over here. So see the size we have over here, I don't know. We can get that modified. And also the button, we are going to work on this right away. So go to the advanced and let's go to size and spacing. Very important thing, your button should have left and right padding larger, like 25 to 30. 25 to 30. Okay, this 25 and it's not bad. Let's make it 30. Okay, 30 pixel left and right make more sense for your padding, especially if you have lesser button. And I would like this to be curved if it is cool, because the bottle itself is with liquid and liquids are curved. So curved edges, you can use 40 pixels for all curved edges to make it rounded like so. Okay, now the color also I don't like that color. I don't like that color so much. So we go to primary button color, we can make the button color a little bit darker like so. Okay, since it's Zobo, we are gonna pick the darker version of the color so that it will be more nice. So when you hover over it, you see this stuff. And the effect, you didn't add effect to it, so always add effect, transition effect like 0.4 to your buttons, so it can transit very, very slowly, as you can see. Okay, fine. And your icon here is too large, reduce the size. I don't need to talk much about that. Your logo icon, you can reduce it to 150, that is okay. So it will serve for both mobile and web, and it will be consistent. Okay, so reduce your button and wonder why this is not showing up. On this, go to advanced typography, then learn how to make it 1. Okay, how do you want to specifically style healthy? Double click on this. Okay, select all of those, then click on span, which is this. So when you span it, you will now be able to change the text color itself, okay, and change the text style itself. Maybe you want to make everything capital letter, you can do that too. Then the rest you can still control them, while all of them are still controlled by the same size. So all of them are controlled by just the same size. Okay, so you can increase it the more to make it looks more nicer now. Space this out a little. Space it out a little from this and add a little more details. And not every header should have details like this. So we are going to apply the same effect we had in the top one. So copy style from the top one and we are going to paste the style here. Very simple. Okay, so the button is too small here. We can go to advanced and we can make this 50 left and make it 50 right. Okay, then top and bottom, we can make it 15 top or make it 13 top and make it 13 bottom. Okay, so it's more obvious now than the one at the right side. So we are done with that and we are done with this other one too. The products, I don't like this color. Products, you shouldn't go with just one style, just go with black color. Okay, just keep it simple. Red must not appear all over your stuff. Okay, so since we have a color that is different from the color we have here, we don't even need to add the stroke again. Okay, so the color in this background will work perfectly well if we remove the stroke here. So we go to the, since you added the class, they're very, very cool. We go here and we remove the border color, click it to none. Okay, we don't want any color there, so everything is cool like this. Let's just be simple and minimalistic. So we can still copy the style we used at the top here. We just want everything to be consistent. We paste the style here, copy this one, paste the style here, copy this one, and we paste the style here. I think you have a padding. You added you added a margin. You shouldn't add any margin to your styling. Shouldn't add any margin. No margin at all. Why are you adding margin to the top side here? Okay, to space it out from this element. No, what you are going to supposed to do is to guide these two elements into one. Let me show you what to do. For instance, we have this element and we wrap it with a div. Okay, now we duplicate this element. we have 2 elements, then we make it horizontally aligned. You see, this gap we have here is not supposed to be here. Because why is here? Because we have a padding there. So we go to the padding and remove the padding. I want to show you a trick now. So we have this stuff. Select on the element guiding everything, then go to gap and give it a gap of 20, or give it a gap of 30. The gap you give it now is what we space it. It won't, if you push this element now, element style and copy, okay, we say copy style and put it in another place, it won't give that gap, because the gap was what's given to the what div, not the element itself. So we paste it here to remove the gap. We paste it here to remove the gap, paste it here to remove the gap. Why it is large like this? Because the other one was large too, and we don't want everything to be large. So we're going to revert to one we have previously and remove the padding. We hope you get the point. So that's what you're going to do from there. Don't add padding to elements. If you have 2 elements, guide them both with same div, then remove, and then add a gap with the div, and you are done with your job. Okay, pricing usually is close to the name. It's not close to the button. Then the button should be far away from everything. Okay, so add a little bit of padding here, then remove the padding. I think you give margin to this one, remove it so it can be close to there. Very good. Price should be close to the product. So we are done with that section. Always give the same size of padding you give to a section to the bottom part. It's not the same thing. So go to advanced size and spacing. As you see, we have 75 here, and the bottom we have 73. Make sure your padding to section should be above 100, either 100 or above 100. Padding, I'm talking about padding now. Okay, look at how smooth and cool these sections are. See the padding there, look at the spaces. It makes a lot of sense. Unless you get to the mobile breakpoint, then you can then start adding all of those. You see the spacing we give here. See, it makes everything look consistent and cool. That's what makes your website look interesting, because of the padding you give to it. So 100 is enough. 100 is cool. Here also give it like 100 or so it won't be like too collapsing to that part. So we have this, the text element. This is supposed to be close to this one, and the one that is going to be far is the button and the elements from here. Don't always use this style in your text. Don't use the justify in your text. Always use left align. Okay, use left align, and your text height is too much. Just give it 1.5. That's okay for me. Okay, 1.5 is okay. 1.7, 1.6, 1.5, and so on. 1.6, and the thickness is too much, so we give it a 400 thickness. That's okay. Don't make it too busy. Okay, so we are going to copy our style from here, copy style, and paste it here. Now we have primary buttons, we have secondary buttons. Okay, now if it is a purchase button, we know it is supposed to be green. If it is a button that maybe place order or contact more, learn more, or those kind of stuffs, okay, here should be our shop. Should be visit shop. Okay, visit our shop or something like that. Our shop, or just our shop is okay. Visit shop is okay. Okay, primary buttons should be the main button. Okay, secondary button should be the button for purchase. So I think this particular elements, okay, the color of, let's choose the class. You don't add class to your buttons. Okay, we gave it the element style we give to this one. Okay, that's why the class was removed. So add classes to there. So here we are going to change the button color to green. Okay, your brand green. And see, I don't think you have a global color. You don't save your global color. As we have styled this thing now, you should save this red as a global color and that green also as a global color. Okay, so we're gonna go to hover, and on hover we're going to go to background. This is the color we will have here. To save it as a global color, click on this global element, call it green, so we can reuse it again and again. Okay, then we go to this other one, go to the color, still make it a global color by clicking this element and call it red. Okay, so we have 2 global color. Now we have to apply the green color to this one. Just select on it, scroll down, you're going to see your global color, apply it, and that is it. You click on hover, you're not going to have the same green on hover. Hover should be red. Oh, that's button color on hover, it should be red. It should be red. So let's go to advanced. Button color on hover, it should be red. Perfect. So we have it green, when you hover, red. So that is what the secondary color. Then we have tertiary color, but I don't think your website deserves a tertiary color. Let's copy the same style we gave to this particular one. Copy, and the style actually, not the element. Copy style. The way you placed your images, they are okay. They are perfectly okay. Okay, so we paste here. Your text color should be the same. Okay, so we are going to choose the text color we use for this one, and we are going to make it a global color too. We call it H1. Okay, so we are going to apply it to all your text. So we select on this text, we apply it here. We select on this other text, we apply it here too. Global color, we have the color from there. Fine. The text color also we are using for the body element is the same color we are going to use for all elements. So I think this text color is okay. Then we are going to add it body text. Okay, fine. So the body text, we are going to apply the same body text color here, and we are good to go. This shouldn't be an image. Too much of image in your website loads slow. So we are going to add a div. Okay, we're going to add a div, and in that div we are going to round it. Border radius, we're going to round it to 50. Okay, so it will be rounded. We give it a color we want to give it, the color which you use in the background. That's color actually, not actually for the element itself. So go to background and give it a color we want, and that's the color you use there. Now, if you select a particular color and you're not comfortable with it, you want to get this kind of color grade, you just reduce the opacity from here, and we are going to get exactly what we are looking for. So inside of this div, we are going to drop in a text element, possibly a H1 or whatever. So drop in a text element, and we name it O1. And we give it a font style we want to give it. And I think the size should be like 40. 40 is too small. 60. Let's increase it. Okay, so you can then choose the type of thickness. I think the thickness should be like 600 or whatever style your own give you. So select on the, once we are done with the header, select on the div guiding everything. Why the div is like this? Do you know why? Look at why the div is like this. We need to go to advanced, go to size and spacing, and we give it a padding and margin. So we're gonna give it a padding of 30 and make it revolve all around it. Okay, let's make it a padding of 50. Depending on the size of the text, that depends on how much padding you are going to give it. Okay, if the text was smaller, that padding would have been enough. So once you have given it that, go back to advanced, go back to border radius. We are going to curve all these parts down. So 100 is not enough. Let's give it 200. Let's make it 300. 300 is still not enough. Now look at what we have. Look at the problem we are having also. We have given it 300 sides to round this thing, but it's not. Even if we give it 500, it will not. Look at what we are going to do. Select the text element, go to advanced, go to typography, and you're going to see the line height here. You must have to, whenever you drop in a heading text, go to line element and give it 1. Okay, 1 will what? Remove the top and bottom part of this. I think that's the problem you have, that you have to run away and start using image here. Don't run away from your problems. Try to solve them. So we solve that problem from there. Then we can remove this, copy this style and add to this one. Select on this thing and give it a little bit of padding as we have given to this one. So you're going to fix that from there. I don't have that much time. Another problem we are having here is that every element here should be centered, as they are centered here, but your text element is not centered. Go to advanced, go to typography and center it. The same applies to this first one. I wonder why you're not using classes there. So apply classes. I'm going to check back on this your work. Apply classes, and also make sure your text copyright is very important. Your text are the same height. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines, make sure the rest of them are still 5 lines. Okay, try as much as possible to remove what is not necessary in your copyright and add what is necessary or what's important. The same applies to this. You did a very nice work here. Okay, and just select all of the elements and all of the elements. The element guiding everything. The gap 20, let's make it a gap of 40. That's okay. So you can space out your text from this. It's okay from so. So everything is fine from here. The text here is too bogus. No, we are going to use the same heading text. So the font width should be 400, maintained at 400. The font size should be 18. Okay, 18 for your what? Heading body text. Your heading body text, you are going to be 18. Also, go to advanced, go to size and spacing. In the width, we are going to make it on percentage. The width could be like 50%. That's too small. Let's make it, that's too large. Let's make it 20%. That's too small. Let's make it 35%. Okay, fine. So now what we are going to do here, you know already, we're going to center our text and we are good to go. So as cool as that. We are coming to the responsiveness because we are going to work on that responsiveness. Remember the pattern I talked about in every section. Make it cool. Your testimonial is too close to your elements. Space it a little more and give a little bit of spacing at the top angle. Fine. Remove the border radius I talked about here. The star rating here are too bogus. We're going to reduce that, and I wonder why you're not using classes for your star rating. As we have reduced one, the rest didn't reduce, and that's bad. Your star rating should be stars. If it is 4-star rating, it should be stars, real stars, like stars that have fields. Okay, you can't find that star here. Go to Font Awesome, you're going to find that star. Okay, so the last star can be empty or half star. The last star could be a half star, like this one, like this one. No, this one is cool for the last star. So it will be like 4.5 rating. And your body text is okay, left align is okay, but the spacing you give here is too much. I wonder why you have this enough spacing in your div. So let's go to size and spacing. Why is your div having too much of spacing? Maybe it's coming from the image element. Your image element might have a spacing that we don't like. Width of this image element is 90. That's okay. Then let's see the padding from the div inside. Padding from the div inside. I don't understand what went wrong here, but that needs to be fixed. This image is supposed to be here. It's supposed to remove all these things and start afresh. Clear all these things, drop your div, then make everything collide from here. I don't know why you have that. Maybe you gave a gap to your element, which I don't know. You didn't give any gap from there. Don't want to waste much of time from here, but you're gonna fix that, remove that, make sure the image starts from the edge here, okay? Then we scroll down, we get to the footer. The footer background color is one of the big problem I have here. So we are going to use your global color. That's why global colors are very, very important. But the global color didn't work well. We are going to darken it a little more. Okay? Darken it a little more. Darker red will make more sense. Okay? So this is okay for what we want. Your text buttons, I think they have. Now, text buttons color are not going to be pure white. Okay? They're going to be grayish white. And they are not applying, possibly because you style your text color with an ID. So we're going to remove that and we're going to style it with the class. You're going to do that, remove that for all of these ones. I'm just showing you an instance. So this color it should be here, and the thickness should be, font thickness should be like 500. 500 is okay for what we want it to be. Now all of these elements you have here should be in one text. This street and this street should be one text, not different text. Text that should come under this one. You can break them as I break the other text at the top. Then the email should have its own. Email can have E and M at the edge. Okay, now that E and M, double click on them and select only that E and M. Ticking the color, don't span it, not everything you span. You span where you want to change colors and add a little bit more style. Just click on B, it will increase the thickness of that particular element. So we have it email. Phone, we are going to add PH, P and H. And we're going to do the same thing apply to this. Address, we are going to add AD or ADD, then we're still going to add the same styling. So select the two of them, double click and select, double click and select the two of them. This is giving me problem now. Double click and select carefully, then we add the thickness to it. So it makes someone know that that is an email, this, and you didn't wrap it with link. I wonder why. It should be a link, so when somebody click on it, but we are going to come to linking. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. Your icons, when you hover on it, should be red. Okay? This icon on hover should be your brand color, which is the red. Okay, that red is too much. Let's take it to the fainted red. This is okay. Fine. So when you hover on it, it becomes that color. I wonder why you did not add the same classes to this one. That's why it's not affecting it. So when you select on this, add the classes. And this one, I don't know what this one is. So we don't need this one. Okay, is the subscribe element. Okay, you did well there. This should be left aligned. Since everything in this particular column is left aligned, your text here should also be left aligned. So we are good to go. The button here should also reflect your brand color, or just leave it at white. The main color should be white. Okay, when you hover on it, it can be, you shouldn't have any border radius. Remove the border radius on this. Okay, when you hover on it, it shouldn't be black. Black is too deep for that particular black. We already have a dark background, so we don't need that to be black. Let's choose another color that will make more sense. Let's take your red brand color and see how it looks. Red looks fine. It looks fine. Okay, so add the same effects. When you hover it, softly, slowly give an effect. So we're gonna give that on the transition. 0.4 is okay. Fine, we are good to go. So when you hover slightly, remove the border. The border here is looking so nonsensical. So here you're gonna add a little bit more thickness. Font width should be like 500. That's cool. So give a little bit of padding from here too, spacing. Okay. And another one to the bottom parts. So we're gonna save our work and see how it looks from the front end. though we are not done because you have to do a lot of work from here. So, but with what we have in the front end, as you can see, you are going to see a little more change. See it? The whole concept have automatically start looking very nice. Okay, you can make this hero section to be full width. Okay, so we're going to go back to the hero section, select on the hero section and make everything full width. Go to advanced, go to size and spacing. Height should be what? VH, 100% VH, and that's fine. Okay, so when somebody load the website, everything is out in front of him. So we have it saved and we refresh again. See how this place is going to collapse. Fine. We have the element now on full width. So that's it, guy. And the rest of the thing, we're going to fix them. You're going to fix the rest of the things and let me know. There should be a little bit of description under of this one. Select on your heading text. Anytime you add a new heading text, make sure you go to the heading element, line height, and make it 1. Okay? So I know the all padding you are giving will be according to the what? Padding or margin you are giving. So corporate grave, everything from here is cool. Just make those little changes as we have. Okay? This left aligned. Here, this element here should be left aligned, not right aligned. Left aligned, like so. Your text here should also be left aligned. Left aligned, like so. Fine, perfect. This is how it should look like, because this is how this one look like. It's facing the image. Go to the next page, it should be facing the image too. Okay, that makes it look nice. Apply this styling as we talked about from here, and your content here shouldn't have too much of information. Too much of information doesn't make much sense. Okay, and there should be a difference between this space and this space. So maybe add a little bit of background color, like a kind of grayish color. Let's reduce the opacity a little more. Okay, that's going to show a little bit of difference from this page to this other page, so somebody know that they are getting into a new page. This one can be white background. Okay, your box now can be, your box can be gray color. Also, you reduce the opacity and remove all those border radius. We don't need those border radius. Click it to none. Then to make it look lift from this background, select on the elements, go to advanced, go to effect, go to box shadow. Box shadow should be black. This is how to add shadows. Remove this to 100. Move this down to about 7 pixels. The blur element should go down like so, and the shadow spread should be like this. Shadow elements, shadow spread should go down. Okay, then go to the shadow color, reduce the opacity till you are comfortable until it is looking so subtle and nice. Okay, the spacing from here, the gap, there should be enough gap from here, so we're giving it a 40 pixel gap so you can give a nice interaction or effect to the background. Let's go back here and remove the background color. Let's make the background color white. I'm gonna make the background color white so we can see the effect and how it grows. So this effect is nice. We are going to select this particular background and make it gray. That's how you pop out your background color should be gray if you want to make your shadows on your boxes. Okay, if you want it to pop a little more, make the background color gray. Okay, then we select on this. The shadows are too much, so we reduce the shadows a little by reducing the opacity from here to like 10 or so. Let's make it like 7 is okay. So fine. So when somebody scroll down to this part, it's looking very nice and sweet. You can kind of add this stuff so you can let people enjoy our new styling. You see, same thing you're going to apply to this particular section. Okay, give it a little bit of padding, then give it that shadow. I think you should remove all of these things to be this background should be the pink background should be red, should be gray. That will make more sense. And with that, I think we are good to go.